Welcome back to Malum Across New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? Where we'll, I don't really know what to be talking about. You know, what comes to mind? Nothing really comes to mind. Which is, I don't know, is that good or bad? You know, head empty, thoughts empty. No, wait, hold on. No thoughts, head empty. I was like, that's not a phrase. It's not head empty, thoughts empty. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't really know what to talk about. To be honest, again, things I can't talk about until the weekend has come and gone. Not, anything pertaining to you particularly, but just, for me and my friends. Anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 6:11pm on Wednesday, May 24, 2023. What should I talk about? Can I plug a random conversation out of nowhere? You know what, Liz? I'm going into the depths of my mind, entering my mind palace. I haven't actually spoken about mind palaces before. I must have. Because that's something, I'm not sure if it's the most interesting thing in the world, but, I'm sure some people are interested in it. I've had so many palace videos, and so many Happy in Paradise palace videos. Mind palace, memory palace. Oh, it's not really what I had in mind, but that was like a year ago. Alright, we can't talk about that, It might surprise you I don't have an encyclopedic memory, I suppose, of every single conversation topic I've ever had. That'd be interesting, actually, now I think about it, like an encyclopedia of conversations. Can you imagine that? Like, I'm just trying to conceive what it would be like. I haven't thought of a use case yet, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's think about what it is first, and then think about what on earth I'm going to use it for. But, like, it's a theoretical book. It cannot be a physical book because I think it would have too much data in and, just be too large. But it's a theoretical book, which is basically like detailing every conversation you've ever had with anyone in your life. You know what it is? It's basically like a script or a screenplay of every conversation you've ever had in your life. Because there's a theoretical question which often gets asked where it's just like, if you had like a big book which had basically every single possible statistic or like thought or memory thing from your entire life, what would be the first thing you would look up? I'm not really sure what my answer would be for that sort of thing, but I'm sure I'd probably like look up something like strange. How many times have I how many times have I met like someone, like a best friend or something, before I actually met them properly, before we actually became friends? Like a lot of my best friends I met in secondary school and that sort of thing. But what if there was like a chance encounter where like I met them, in primary school, just like maybe we just like went to the same park or something? Were we on the same train ever at some point? I don't know. I'd like to hear about those moments because it's, amusing if anything. It's the sort of thing where, if it was like a TV show, you would be like, oh, there'd be an entire episode dedicated to that moment and how it's somehow intertwined, because, you get to write coincidences and stories like that into these actual stories, and it not that it necessarily works better, but it's if you have control over reality, you can make a lot of more improbable things happen, shall we say. Not to say that it is like entirely improbable for you to ever meet someone before you probably know them, but still. Just like those chance encounters. I wish I could tell you like a story about it, like off the top of my head, and unfortunately I can't really. It's a bit difficult because I don't know about those chance encounters. I mean, I think also another interesting one would be like if you had a romantic partner, or in the future or now or whatever, you can look up being like, how many times did I meet them before I actually properly met them or something, or like how long had the feelings or each other gone either which way. Was like unrequited for a lengthy period of time where did you both fall in love like at the same moment or something like that? There could always be very interesting things, and unsurprisingly, me, like I would look up things to do with like relationships and dynamics, and not just like love relationships, but like friendships and that sort of thing, family relationships, and the things which I suppose can be spun from yarn out of that always. It's in human nature, I suppose, to be interested in, the social side of humanity, I suppose, in the first place, no? But those chance encounters, I'm trying to think if I genuinely ever had a chance encounter, but the closest thing I can think of is like I went to the same like preschool as a lot of my primary school friends. I went to this like preschool, I'm not really sure it was preschool, I guess we'd call it like a nursery in UK, but it wasn't really like a nursery. It was like in this church and like the village I grew up in, and I don't remember it all too well. I have like a few memories there. One of them was there was a moment during the entire nursery time where we would go into like the side room, and one of the nursery teachers would like read us all a book or something. There was one time where some kid was being like really annoying for some reason and disrupting the story. I can't remember what he was doing. I think he was just like constantly blowing on like one of the girls in front of him's necks or one of her necks or something, and then I don't know. he got like kicked out or something. Another one I remember was I spent like the entire day at nursery playing like this match to like this snap sort of card game with like animals or something. But I remember the entire time I was out before I was like, oh yeah, I want to make sure I walk across like this bench thing, I suppose, before the end of the day. And then it was just like, oh, you know, it's like pack up time now, and I was like, oh no, I haven't walked across the bench yet. The bench being, it's basically just sort of like I'm not going to call it like a tightrope or something. I mean, I tried to do it before they packed up, and they were like, no, dear darling, you can't do it, and you know, you have to wait till tomorrow. And I was like, no, and I started crying or something for some reason, because you know, kids kind of cry over like the most random things, and I'm sure I forgot about it immediately, you know, as my father came to pick me up or something, and you know, we ended up talking about something else entirely, I'm sure, but I don't know why that's ingrained in my memory. Oh, another one that's ingrained in my memory is actually I was walking to school and like in these like gel sandals or whatever, like I used to wear back in the day, and there was like a stone caught in my shoe, and I remember just like talking to the teachers about it, being like, I feel like there's something weird with my like shoe, like it kind of like feels funny when I like walk or something, and they're like, do you have a stone in your shoe? And then, you know, that's when I guess found out about the concept of stones getting into shoes. You might be like, how old were you? I was probably less than 3, so I was like 2 or 3 or something around that age, so you know, I was pretty young. Yeah, and then from that pre-nursery we went to an actual nursery, then an actual school, primary school. Anyway, so yeah, that's not really like a chance encounter, because we all lived in the same village. I went to the same school and in the same like preschool in the same village, so unsurprisingly there would be kids from that preschool also went to the same school. So I'm not really sure if I've had much of a chance encounter. Probably a better way to think about it would be to think about my secondary school friends, which is a bit harder because I didn't actually go to the same school as any of my secondary school friends. And the other friends I tend to have like mostly nowadays. Or that and some university friends. I'm not like from a completely different area, I suppose, from like my secondary school, but it's more like how should I describe it? It's more like I'm like a couple of towns over or something to the secondary school I went to secondary school for. It was like a weird sentence. Where basically, yeah, I just like did not go to the exact same secondary school as them. Secondary school being like high school, if you don't know the terminology used in the UK here. What was I going to say about this? I don't remember what I was going to say about this. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so I mean, it's possible that I met some of them before. I think probably the most even then. The thing is, I actually went to school, like primary school, in a different entire county to the secondary school I went to, because I lived kind of like close to a border between 2 counties. So I was still in the catchment area for the other school. Like we ended up moving. I can't remember if we moved across counties or not. Maybe, I think we did. Now thinking back to it. But yeah. I mean, it's very possible that I ran into some of my friends before, but you know, I don't know any other stories of them. So I think probably the most likely thing would be like, oh, I don't know, maybe we went to like, I don't even know, like, because we're not that far away, you know. When we were younger, we like grew up like not too far away from each other, like maybe like less than like 10-minute drive or something. Maybe that's a bit low. Maybe like 15-minute drive. I don't really know off the top of my head. So it's not implausible. Like maybe we went to the same dentist or something. Maybe, I don't know, we both went to like a school event or like an extracurricular event. Like that was like somewhere between us and we went to it. But, you know, I don't have any of those stories. And I suppose it isn't sort of like doubly compounded by the fact that I seem to be the only one who remembers a lot of these random memories from my younger years in the first place. It's weird saying younger years because I'm not that old, to be honest. I'm 25. You know, depending on how old you are, you might be like, wow, that's ancient, or you might be like, you're so young. That's, you know, just how relative numbers work, I suppose. It's just like, you know, my younger years. I'm like, I don't know how else to describe it. Like, I guess my childhood, but still. Yeah. So it's weird how, you know, people say, obviously, it's a small world after all, or if you want to say in the Disneyland way, it's a small world after all. I'm not going to sing that entire song, and I'm not going to drive you absolutely insane. But it's both like a small world and also a really, really big world at the same time, isn't it? You know, I guess it's a small world's kind of just used for those like remarkable coincidences which happen, because the world we live in is huge, obviously, like 7 billion people. You know, the chances of you meeting the same person twice is rather statistically unlikely, but you know, that's not how statistics works, because you don't have an equal probability of meeting everyone the same amount of times. Whether it be through location or association, etc, etc, etc. It's strange now I think about it. I mean, statistically, obviously, you're going to have some people who don't have, like, any of these chance encounters, right? But I would have thought they'd be a bit more common, right? Or maybe just because they appear in media all the time, it makes you think, whoa, these must happen all the time. Despite that blatantly not really being the case, I would say. What is going on? I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, chance encounters. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a chance encounter in my future, which is yet to happen. You know, can you imagine that? Just being like, whoa, someone I met from, you know, there's plenty of people I've met for like, just like a day or a week or something, you know, on holiday, or, you know, we've fallen out of like contact or something, then being like, whoa, what if at some point in the future we just like meet up again and be like, whoa, hello again. I always think back to this boy I became friends with on like a holiday. We were at like a campsite, caravan campsite. I think I told this story before. Anyway, we became like really good friends, but over that weekend, and we just like never got like any exchange any information or contact between us. I only remember his name. I don't know his surname. I don't even remember where I was, to be perfectly honest. But you know, never seen him again. Or maybe I have, and he exists out there somewhere. What if I just search his name on Facebook? Do you think I could find him? I'm not even logged into Facebook. Okay, I'm not doing that. To be perfectly honest. Yeah, you ain't catching me logging into Facebook. Nice try, Facebook. Sorry, Meta. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. Chance encounters. Like, I don't really... the chance encounters, you know, ironically, I suppose, but the only way you can discover them is through, you know, chance itself, right? Because it's not easy. It's not like people have an encyclopedic memory of chancing, of like encounters of people that they've had in the past and places they've been, nor do you just like very often recite them to each other. So the only time you can really have a chance encounter is just sort of when you sort of like bring up some random memory or whatever, and the other person goes like, oh yeah, like, you know, you might be like, oh yeah, I used to go to like Fawnhollow campgrounds or something when I was younger, and then someone else would be like, oh yeah, I used to go there every summer too, or something, you know, like what sort of like years you went, and you would both be like, you know, 2002, and you're like, whoa, maybe we saw each other then. And when you look through your old photos, maybe even one day you're just like, you know, reminiscing an old photo album with your mother. And then you see someone in the background, you'd be like, hey, you know, that looks like really quite a lot like my friend Julia. And then you know, you call her up being like, wait, you know, that other day we were talking about the fact that we both went to Fawnhollow campgrounds, and you know, I think I just found a photo of you in the background of it. And we're like, whoa. Anyway, that's how I imagine it happens. I don't know anyone called Julia, so I guess that will never happen to me. I don't even mean that in like a sad way, but just like a, I don't know, I'm just like spinning yarn about nothing. Saying that, you know, I did used to go to the summer camp thing. I remember it was a summer camp that was hosted at my primary school. I don't know why my primary school necessarily, but we had a very big field in our primary school, so I guess it was like large enough that we could actually set up a load of activities. But it was a summer camp. It was like a summer Christian youth camp or whatever. I wasn't religious. I wasn't raised religious. Just, you know, a lot of my friends were religious, so they were like, "Hey, you should come along to this," because one of my friends, like, father was like quite involved with the entire like organization of it. He was my best friend at the time. And I was like, yeah, sure, okay, I'll come along. First time I went, I was like, whoa, this is great, I had a blast. The second time, couldn't go the second time, I think, because I was on holiday for half of it. Bikers are more fun, so that must be Phoebe's. And then the third time I went, you know, it was okay, you know. I remember the first time I went, you know, I was put in a group with like a load of like other friends around my primary school, so it was basically just like a really fun time, you know. It's like going to school, except for there's no schoolwork this time. You just get to have fun. It's playtime all the time. Okay, we need to go find Phoebe. But then the final time, like in year 6 or year 5 or whenever we went, and it was just like not as many people went anymore. I still went because my best friend went, and then like another one of my like best friends went. But I don't know why I'm telling you a story. You do not care in the slightest. Where on earth is Phoebe? But we normally all oh wait, what? I was gonna say we normally all congregate in this area, so drop something. I just thought about something. Do I have no bridges in my island? Is that why they all congregate around this one area? I legitimately never really thought about that before. That's genuinely quite funny. I should build a bridge at some point, but you know, that's expensive. Why would I do that? Do I actually I legit don't have no. Yeah, I legit have no bridges on the island. I guess I got rid of all of them? Really? I didn't even know you could do that, to be honest. I must have one bridge somewhere. I thought I had bridges in the bottom right and bottom left. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't. That's so wild. Who needs bridges anyway? It's funny how like unfinished this island kind of looks anyway. Like this entire area, like this section just like so barren because I haven't put anything down. But so be it. We found a crafter, right? I guess we'll just do a Nook mission farming for a little bit. What can we do? We can't really do that. Customize and change outfit. We can do those two. Yeah, so because his father was involved with the actual like organisation of the entire thing, he was allowed to basically choose the groups that you hung out with the entirety of a week. And he chose a load of people from like I can't remember, like his church group or something, you know, who I didn't really know, and it was fine, you know. Obviously, the connection isn't there compared to people which you've known for like 6 or 5 years or something. That's just how it goes. Anyway, it was still a pretty good time, I think. Probably. I don't even remember. Anyway, the long and short of it is like maybe at that summer camp or something, you know, I met someone who I now know and then like never realised. Ooh, you know, weird. There were a lot of kids there. But yeah, again, maybe not. But there's a lot of songs I remember singing there at some point. So if you remember any of these childhood songs, I suppose, from a Christian summer youth camp you used to go to, then, you know, I don't know, hit me up. There's one that was called Fandabadozy, he's a god of everything. Fandabadozy. I can't remember the rest of it. And there's one of them which was my favourite one. I don't remember why, but I guess it was so dramatic. But it was like sorry, it's a bit higher than that. My throat's a bit weird, so we're running this race filled with His grace, and we're going for gold, or going for God. I don't remember. You know, it was religious, to be fair, so it might be one of those. Are these actual songs? Maybe I should look it up. Hold on. Fandabadozy. Corruption of an English fantastic song. Fandabadozy. He's the god of everything. Oh, it's here. Hold on. I've got to listen to this. You know, hold on. I'm gonna pause and listen to this. That's how invested I am to this. That is a Fandabadozy song. You know, the only part I remember is the Fandabadozy. I don't remember the rest of it. Listening to it, but I remember the not syncopated necessarily, but like the fun salsa-esque rhythm. I don't know, salsa, rumba, tango. I don't really know the difference between them all too well. So sorry. I can't seem to find the running with race song, but there you go. I don't even know what I'm going to talk with. What's this about? Chance encounter, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, if you know about running for a race song, then, you know, hit me up. Just because I kind of want to know that song. I don't know. I liked it so much when I was younger. There were more songs, but I don't remember them. You know, I wonder if that entire thing's going on still. Let's see. I'm not going to tell you, obviously, but what it's called. There you go. Be on the team. Joining the team. Donation. FAQ. It's still going on, it seems. What age would I have been? Let me think. 2006? That sounds about right. They probably don't have photos from 2006. That's a bit of a shame. They have a website though. So, you know, cool. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.